How's it going, everyone? Toasty here, bringing you the first part of my quick start guide series on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. Now we're gonna get started in just a second, but first I wanted to let you know that this video guide was inspired by a written guide posted on the DBZ Dokkan Battle subreddit a few months ago. This post was made by user loserwithzerolife, and I'm gonna leave a link to it in the description, as this series will be covering a few of the same beats as the written guide, but it's also just a good read overall, so I definitely recommend you all check it out. That being said, let's get on to the video. Alright, so starting off with character types, we have 5 main types: Phys or Physical, STR or Strength, Int or Intelligence, Tech or Technique, and AGL or Agility. Each type is given priority over one other type as shown in the type wheel here. This means that whichever type takes priority deals more damage and takes less damage from the type it takes priority over. There's also 2 subtypes or classes, these being Super and Extreme. 95% of the time, you can categorize them as Super equals hero and Extreme equals villain. This doesn't always work, since there are characters who've changed alignment throughout the series, or those who are left ambiguous on purpose like Beerus and Jiren. For example, these Android 18 cards here. Android Saga 18 being Extreme because she's a villain at this point in the series, and the Tournament of Power 18 being Super type since she's considered one of the good guys at this point. Next we have the 7 character rarities. Starting from the lowest rarity and working our way up, we have the N rarity. These drop from the quest mode and friend summon. They're pretty useless overall, and that's all there is to say about them. So moving on to the R or rare character. These also drop from the quest mode and friend summon, but unfortunately, we can still summon these on the gacha banners. This is a bad thing considering they're just about as useless as the N characters, so you can probably imagine why spending a premium currency on them is a bad idea. Moving on to SR or super rare characters, we get most of these from the gacha banners or events, but they can still be obtained through quest and friend summons. For the most part, SRs are useless in battle, but it's not a bad idea to keep them around, since a good amount of them can be used to level up the super attack of the more powerful cards in the game. Next up, we have the SSR or super rare character, which is funnily enough the most common rarity in the game. Most of the time, we'll be getting these off of gacha summons, events, or mission rewards. These cards are going to make up the bulk of what we spend our time and resources on, as almost every SSR in the game has a use, so don't take any of them for granted. Here we have the UR or ultra rare character. These can normally only be obtained through Z Awakening an SSR character, but UR level Hercule statues also drop in the friend summon banner. TUR or transcended ultra rare cards are Dokkan awakened forms of their SSR or UR counterparts, and are considered the most powerful forms of that card. Dokkan Awakening just so happens to be the only way to obtain cards of this rarity level. At last we have our final rarity, the LR or Legendary Rare Character. These cards are a select few SSRs who have the ability to Dokkan Awaken once more past the TUR level. Cards of this rarity have the highest stat distribution in the game and are often paired with a set of skills that make them the more highly sought after cards in the game. There are many ways to obtain cards with the ability to become LRs, but the difficult part is awakening them into their final form. LRs that can be had for free typically take a whole lot of time and resources to awaken, and those who can be summoned for on gacha banners have insanely low drop rates, so it's all luck from there. That just about covers types and rarities, so let's move on to awakening. Starting off with the awakening, here we have a way to boost our character's stats and level cap while giving us a nice step up in rarity. This can be done to any card from the N to SSR rarity, but awakening medals can be scarce early on in the game, so you're better off farming up medals and carefully picking out which characters you want to awaken first, instead of running around awakening all your characters as soon as you can. Notice how I mentioned that only cards up to the SSR rarity can be Z awakened. Any rarity above SSR has to be Dokkan awakened. This is a more powerful form of awakening that boosts our character's skills along with their stats and level cap. Dokkan Awakening is a little harder to do since we can't just use any old medals to do it. We have to use character-specific medals dropped from Dokkan events. In some cases, Dokkan Awakening medals can be earned as mission rewards or bought in the shop, but this varies per character. This might all sound a bit confusing, but a really helpful tool we can use to guide us is the Growth tab. The Growth tab shows us our character's complete line of awakenings, along with which medals are needed to awaken them, and if you click and hold the medal icon, it'll take you right to the event that drops that medal. This is great and all, but one major flaw with the Growth tab is that it doesn't show us which characters can perform a special type of awakening called Extreme Z Awakening, or EZA for short. Extreme Z Awakening is a way for the dev to breathe new life into some of the older T-Wars, and now even some LRs who have become outdated over the course of the game's life. There are a few EZA events that are held for more recently released cards, but the original intention was to bring the older cards up to par with new metas. On the home screen, we have a variety of different options once we click the start button. These options being Quest, Event, World Tournament, Ultimate Clash, and Portal of Memories. Each section offers a different set of challenges to complete and rewards to obtain. So starting off with Quest mode, whose main challenge comes from the fact that it's boring as all hell, we have one of the main sources of free-to-play Dragonstones. Each quest completed grants you 1 Dragonstone, and there are 3 difficulties per quest, so 3 Dragonstones total. Along with the Dragonstones, we have a set of missions to complete in each quest called the Supreme Kai Trials. Completing these missions rewards us with Supreme Kai Stones that can be used to buy copies of LR Vegito Blue. Every player should do this, as LR Vegito Blue is one of the most solid characters in the game and one of the best free-to-play LRs around. We can also gather the Dragon Balls from the quests and use them to wish for different rewards like Dragonstones, character slots, and support item slots. Next up, we have the events section that's split into 4 different tabs. Like the quests, each event completion awards us with 1 Dragonstone. The story events are going to be our primary source of free characters and Baba Shop treasures. Growth events focus on increasing our account resources like training items, awakening medals, Zenny, and hidden potential orbs. The challenge event section is where we go to complete Dokkan events to awaken most of our summonable characters, or to take on some of the late game activities like Super Battle Road and the Legendary Goku event. Next up is the Z Battle tab, which is where we go to complete a series of battles with increasing difficulty to obtain the awakening medals necessary to EZA our cards. So at the bottom right, you've probably noticed by now the tab that says Portal of Memories. Clicking it will take us to a list of all the different events that aren't currently in rotation. You can still take part in these events by spending event keys instead of stamina, but you can also use the portal to see which events are coming back into rotation soon. World Tournament isn't currently available at the time of this recording because it only comes around every other month or so, but this game mode is the closest thing we have to PvP. In it, we take on player teams and randomly generated teams in a series of battles mirroring the World Tournaments from the show. We compete in these tournaments to place in a global leaderboard and gain varying levels of rewards based on how high we place. Last on our list, we have Ultimate Clash. This game mode is a bit of a gauntlet that requires us to have built up a decently large roster of characters to complete, but we can still participate even if we can't complete the event in its entirety. The main draw of this mode is that we can accumulate battlefield memories, which can be used as currency to buy exclusive characters and awakening medals from the Baba Shop. Speaking of the Baba Shop, this is where we go to exchange Zenny, treasures, and trading points for various items and characters. Trading points are accumulated through selling characters, items, or treasures for points. The Zenny tab is self-explanatory, and the treasure tab is where we go to exchange the many different treasure types we obtain from playing the game, like incredible gems, supreme Kai stones, battlefield memories, and much, much more. There are a few treasures in the shop we can't get through normal gameplay, like Super Dragonstones and summoning coins. Items like beginner tickets and Super Dragonstones have to be purchased from Pilaf's Trove or from the Dragonstone shop. Coins, on the other hand, can only be obtained through summoning on one of 3 types of gacha banners. Dokkan Fest banners grant you red coins, legendary summons grant you gold coins, and filler banners grant you blue coins. Going over to the summon tab will show you all the different banners that are currently in rotation, and on the top right under the scouter you can see what type of coins any given banner will give you when summoned on. There's many different types of gacha banners and they often vary greatly in terms of value per summon, so let's break it down. Dokkan Festival banners are banners released typically once or twice a month featuring one brand new Dokkan Festival exclusive unit and one new unit to join the general SSR pool. Featured cards have a higher summoning rate than the unfeatured pool of cards, but the result of any given summon is never guaranteed. These banners are the most commonly summoned on, as Dokkan Fest exclusive units are typically cards with some of the more powerful leader and passive skills in the game. For the most part, featured units on the banner will relate to the main featured unit in some way, either through category theme or being from the same arc in the series. Global players can generally get a good idea of what units will be on a given Dokkan Fest banner, as the Japan server is well ahead in terms of content. However, there have been numerous occasions in which the featured units on the banner have differed, therefore we should use JP banners as more of an example rather than assuming we'll get the exact same banner. EZA banners are also capable of dropping Dokkan Festival exclusive characters, usually those that have already or will eventually be given the EZA treatment, but you won't find many people summoning on these banners, as for the most part the newer Dokkan Fest exclusive characters are much more valuable. Legendary summons are banners that come around every once in a while and focus mainly on one newly released LR character. The titular LR will be featured along with a host of other featured SSRs from the general SSR pool to keep the summoning rates for the LR low. Although it is possible to obtain other LRs from these as they are unfeatured on these types of banners, spending stones on chasing unfeatured LRs is a bad idea due to the extremely low rates, and you're better off just summoning for the featured LR. Rising Dragon Carnivals are another type of banner with potential to drop unfeatured LRs, but there isn't always a featured LR, and instead, it might just consist of a featured list of general pool SSRs. Although this might seem to have less value than the legendary summons, these actually have increased value for LRs overall as the summon rates for SSRs is doubled on these types of banners. Category and type banners are filler banners released whenever a new EZA is released or whenever a type support unit gets a Dokkan Awakening. Category banners don't really have much value outside of providing cards that fit into a certain category that you might want to fill out a team for, but they do also include a pool of unfeatured LRs. Type banners are the same deal as category banners but focus on giving you cards of specific types rather than a specific category. Type banners have famously high rates for unfeatured LRs of that banner's type, but unless you're chasing a specific LR who so happens to be of that type, you're better off sticking to the Rising Dragon Carnival. The last type of filler banner we have is the Elder Kai banners. The sole purpose of these banners is to give you nothing but Elder Kais. Spend 25 stones in exchange for 5 Elder Kais a total of 4 times. Elder Kais are extremely valuable, and because of it, you can technically say these banners are the most valuable in the game due to the guarantee of Elder Kais. However, Elder Kai banners are worthless if you don't have any units to spend the Kais on, so wasting all of your stones on these is highly discouraged unless you have cards to spend the Kais on or are a pay-to-play player, and in that case you can spend the stones on whatever you want. Before we wrap this up, we do have a handful of special banners to talk about. These banners only come out on special occasion like anniversary, download, and other large-scale celebrations. Dual Dokkan Fests are the most common of these and are just that, Dokkan Fests with 2 banners featuring 2 new titular characters rather than the single banner. These banners are typically of great value as they are often paired with discounts on multi-summons and a step-up system that gives you a free multi-summon for every 3 multis you do beforehand. New Year celebration banners have varied from banners featuring nothing but Dokkan Fest exclusives to a massive step-up banner that guarantees you one of a selected pool of units per multi-summon. This type of banner is more common in recent history and is likely the most value per summon in the game, but we never know exactly what we're going to get, so it's best to stay prepared just in case Akatsuki or Bandai decides to drop one of these. The final type of banner we have are crossover banners. Usually, crossover banners feature units from other Dragon Ball games like Xenoverse or Dragon Ball Heroes. These banners can be considered filler banners, but they do have a handful of really solid characters on them. Unfortunately, these characters tend to age pretty quickly as it's common for a lot of them to be released without a Dokkan Awakening, though most of the time they do eventually get a Dokkan Awakening with the release of the next crossover banner. That just about covers it for this video. Next time we'll be going over character skills, links, and team building. If you liked the video and found the information useful, leave a like and comment below what you would want me to cover next. If you didn't like the video, or feel like I missed something important, go ahead and leave a dislike and let me know what you think I could be doing better. But for now, it's been a pleasure, and I'll see you next time.